Did you see on Instagram that Ty Mello was saying stuff that people keep telling her about her pregnancy or when she comes back?
No, I haven't.
They said...
Tell me.
They had the nerve of telling her that, which with just the past alone, with like someone like Becky Lynch, or I can only think of Becky Lynch, right? Who had a baby and then came back like better. Trish Stratus? I mean, Trish Stratus wasn't public.
Yeah, but Trish had the babies after she was done wrestling, and then there was like multiple years before she came back. Like, it wasn't like she had a baby and then came back a couple months later.
But that's just not true, because Ty Mello's going to come back and, like, look at her. Her body's going to be tight.
Tight.
It's going to be so... shit's going to be tight.
Tight.
It's going to be... her abilities are going to be better than ever. Shit's going to be tight.
Tight.
She's going to be able to... she's just going to come back. It's there. Imagine the fucking comeback she's going to have is going to be beyond tight.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to... And then even better... Sammy could be at the same time doing like a mirrored thing where he wins whoever has the international championship. Fucking, that's gonna be fucking tight.
Tight.
Everything's gonna be tight.
Tight.
Everything's gonna be tight.
Tight.
At Ty Mello come back, challenge whoever had the women's championship. Fucking win that shit. Tight. Give her the women's championship. That'd be tight.
Tight.
She'd be like the man, and that's tight.
Tight.
Yeah.
Tight.
Tight. Tight.
T-I-T, tight.
That's not how you spell tight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a podcast all about wrestling. In this corner, an author and a black belt, Kibbles.
Kibbles? What kind of name is that?
Pookie the Wolf is the best.
I forgot my copies. And in this corner, Pookie the Wolf.
Pookie the Wolf is one of the best.
Welcome to the Kibbles and Pookie's Square Circle.
All right, I haven't watched it. Don't think it's something I need to watch.
I haven't watched it either.
Wouldn't say it's not funny. I've seen clips that are pretty funny. A lot of good people are in it. Raul Kofi plays Scarecrow.
I know King Shark is in it.
Ron Funches plays King Shark.
The king of sharks.
Alan Tudyk plays Joker, which is he's really good. He was in Star Wars. Not the mainstream one, though. Like, not the main storyline.
Oh. I thought you meant maybe, like, not the, I was like, I can see that we're still on battery over there. And,
Still on battery?
Yeah. Battery. The laptop's what I was plugging in.
Oh. Battery.
Yep.
How you doing?
Itchy.
Oh, right.
Other than that, I'm doing all right.
You sort of started off with that when we were downstairs.
Yeah.
Just been like, hey, by the way, I got poison ivy.
So I got poison ivy.
Yeah.
And, it's on me.
By the way, got my mom to do the other day. I don't know why, but...
Good.
I forget what I was doing.
Spreading fast.
Yes, like wildfire. Like wildfire.
So did you see that he has this, he has a thing, he did it on Impact where he had a dummy button?
Yeah. Dummy. Yeah.
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 And then he would say yeah after it said yeah.
I've been doing that on streams, actually.
How have you?
I've been doing that on streams when I've played PUBG a couple days ago, and like in general, I think there's going to be a couple videos of Apex where, I don't know if they're going to be edited in or if they'll make the cut, but there's times where I'll be like, that's because that guy was a dummy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just casually throw it in there.
I know that I was aware of it, but like even with him doing the yeah thing in WWE, I still like completely forgot that it was a thing and it happened. And
I don't like dummy as much, but it works when you're like trying to insult somebody.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, right, this was a thing.
Yeah.
Like I forgot that it was a thing.
This was something that he had done at one point.
Yeah, and it wasn't just like a one-off thing that he had done at some point. Like it was like a multi-week thing.
So Collision was last night. What happened? Because I didn't watch it.
Show opened with
Ooh.
Ricky Starks and Tony Schiavone. Tony informed him that he is suspended from wrestling for 30 days for attacking Ricky Steamboat last week. But then, in an odd turn of events, Ricky Starks then said that he went ahead and got a manager's license. So we're still going to see him every Saturday.
He injured something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
he
this
definitely
is
injured
really
himself.
weird. This is really weird.
The fucking guy injured himself.
He's like, yeah, bro, I got my manager's license, so you're still gonna see me every week. And I was like, okay, so like, I guess I would assume that they're gonna try to partner him up with somebody. What else happened?
Whoever they partner him up with, it's gonna be probably who he goes against once he gets once he recovers.
Probably makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe beat some rando in like 2 minutes, and then
It must
told
be
Punk.
Thanksgiving.
Yep, and then told Punk that he asked nicely, and now he's going to basically make him give him what he wants.
Do you get why I said it must be Thanksgiving? Because around fall, that's when you have some squash. Yeah, that was my joke I was going for.
I didn't get that at
That's
all.
fine. I kind of stepped over what you were saying, so it's my fault.
It's okay.
What about the tag team match? Because I was concerned about that.
The Acclaimed faced
I was talking about the women's.
Bear Country.
I
think they're called.
I was talking about Willow and Chris Statlander.
Mercedes Martinez and Diamante won.
What?
They pinned Willow. They did like a roll up, like the sunset flip thing.
Mm-hmm.
And while she was sitting there, then Diamante like came in and used the ropes and like pushed on her back so she couldn't like kick up this way.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the pin.
Leverage.
And then it was like, I don't know, like I guess they're trying to. I guess it fits in with their character because they're just supposed to be like white meat baby faces. But to me, it was really odd that they lost the tag match, and then Willow and Chris Statlander were standing on the ring apron, literally yelling, and some of the things they were yelling, they're like, "Oh, you cheaters! Get back here! We're gonna fight you! We'll get you back! You cheaters!" And I was like, "This is really dumb. Like, this is really dumb." I don't know. I felt like it was really dumb to be like, I'm gonna be like an 8-year-old and yell, "You're a cheater!"
What do you want him to say?
I don't know, but it was dumb.
Fuck you fucking Spanish bitches.
I mean, they didn't have
You Latina bitches.
Damn.
What, aren't they both right?
I mean, yeah, but
Diamante?
damn.
That's what I'm saying. What do you want? You want to start yelling racial slurs?
No, I mean, they didn't. I mean, they didn't even really have to yell anything. They could it could have been like Chris Statlander could have gone to Willow and been like it's all right, like we'll get him next time or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Not Ned Flanders it up. And gosh darn it.
What they did was hokey as shit.
Gosh,
it was so
golly.
dumb.
You gosh golly dang cheaters.
What else? Christian Cage did a promo, which led to Brock Anderson coming out and fighting Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus won, and then Darby Allin attacked. Darby Allin then convinced Christian to have a match with him next week.
Darby Allin?
Yep. So Darby's just all over both of these shows.
With Christian? Did you watch Rampage?
No, but I saw he faced Brian Cage.
Yeah.
And he's got a tag match with Nick Wayne against
God.
What are they? The Powers of Agony? The something of
Gates
Agony?
of Agony.
Gates of Agony on Wednesday. And then Saturday,
I love them.
he'll have a
I love
match
both of them, by the way. I love them from Dark. I remember watching the one Samoan guy from Dark. He was fucking cool as shit. But the thing I noticed from Rampage was, did you watch the clip from Rampage?
No.
Oh my god. Luchasaurus is, by all accounts, the only problem with Luchasaurus is that like there has to be some kind of I guess John, I know this is going to be a weird comparison, but Jack Perry is like Undertaker, And Luchasaurus is like Kane, where it's just like, you have these people who are doing great things, and then you have the other guy who's like kind of with them that will always kind of be connected with them and be like, yeah, he just doesn't do things as good.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you think about like injuring Ray Fenix, which is, whatever, accidents happen. But at the end of the match, he comes in and attacks Darby Allin after he rolls up Brian Cage. Brian Cage doesn't even care. He just starts arguing with the ref after he gets rolled up. And then Luchasaurus comes in, does this weird fucking inverted chokeslam where he like grabs his back of his neck and his thigh and just does it so awkwardly that even Darby Allin couldn't pull it off and make it look good. It was just so awkward. I'm like, why didn't he just chokeslam? You could have just chokeslam and made him look way better.
Maybe that's why he chokeslammed Brock Anderson regularly.
Did he do it regularly?
Yeah.
Thank God. Oh my God, it was so awkward. It would have been so easy. He was tired, just grab him by the throat and chokeslam him.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why to be like, do this elaborate back of the neck thigh face plant.
Yeah.
Like,
so we've got
awkward.
So we got Darby Allin in.
Keep in mind, I love Luchasaurus. I'm not trying to shit on him, but I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah. Well, we got Darby Allin in multiple feuds going on here.
Yeah,
he's all over the place.
I'm
not sure I'm a fan.
I assume in a couple of weeks they'll end the Swerve thing.
Well, either that or he'll lose the TNT title match, and that'll end him going for the TNT title. The Acclaim won their tag match.
But I don't want him to keep fighting Swerve.
Okay. Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, either one or the other, and I'm like, well, if he loses the TNT title, not that I want him to, he could still lose the TNT title match. Just get rid of the Swerve thing, because I feel like that's done. That's over. You wanted to move on to the next thing with Christian, so move on to the next thing. So don't confuse us and go like imagine super hardcore Darby Allin fans have to be like watch all the shows to make sure they don't miss a thing.
Yeah, well they do right now.
Exactly.
He's wrestling on every show basically.
He's wrestled on every show. Wait, did he wrestle on Wednesday?
No, he was in the segment with Swerve
in there,
though.
Yeah,
and he's in a coffin match at All Out, All In, and then he's got the TNT title match at All Out.
He has a coffin match and All In.
Mm-hmm. Sting and Darby Allin against Swerve and AR
That's
Fox.
a coffin match?
Yes.
I knew the match, but I didn't know it was a coffin match.
Yes.
Well, shit.
What else? Acclaim won their tag match. They had
Against
Daddy
Barrett.
Ass's boots. They said that Daddy Ass is retired, so everybody put your scissors up in the air, and
Shouldn't they just left his boots in the ring?
they were like, we're gonna move forward to become the #1 tag team again.
We're gonna scissor everybody in this arena.
Yes.
Everyone get ready, get your fingers out. I don't think they're Bear Country anymore, are they?
They might be something else.
They're
It was the two guys. It was the same two guys, I think.
two brothers. Two brothers.
What else?
Sorry, it's a Rick and Morty joke.
Powerhouse Hobbs called out Miro
Oh shit!
and said he wants to redeem himself, and the way to do that is to defeat the Redeemer.
Clever.
And so he challenged him to a match at All Out in Chicago. Miro came out, and he got jumped by the Factory /
Wait.
QTV's group, because I guess Powerhouse Hobbs is still kind of in with them. I guess.
I don't think he's. Oh yeah, I guess he is.
Well, he was with QT.
He didn't really officially break up. He was mad at them after the Owen Hart thing, but then Johnny TV showed up.
Yeah. So I don't know what the deal is, because he was like I want to fight Miro at All Out in Chicago, and then Nick Camarado and
Aaron Solo
jumped Miro, threw him in the ring, and he got spine busted.
Aaron Solo, Camarado. I forgot what the other one was.
Marshall.
No. The
TV.
who's
Johnny
the
TV.
boxer? Who was the boxer they had?
Fuck. I know he was British.
A Go-Go.
A Go-Go. It's Anthony
Camarado. Solo. Because it was both a Jim Cornette and CM Punk did it at one point, where CM Punk was just naming off the O's at the end.
Yeah. And then the 6-man tag.
Right on.
The 6-man tag coupled with like they really took their like I was sitting there and I was like, this is all they have for this show. Like I really feel like there should be like one more match.
Just filler because they pretty much have everything set up.
But it was just very interesting that at like 9:20 they were like, we're gonna start talking about what we have for next week. Or what we have for upcoming shows, and then by like 9:25 they were doing entrances for the main event. But I guess that's pretty standard with Collision. I feel like most of their main events are like 20 minutes plus.
JR went on record and said that I don't know if this is like a shot at somebody or maybe he's implying it. But he said Collision is more calmer than Dynamite backstage. Or he meant maybe in general.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, it kind of goes back to...
Because in my head, if someone said that, I'd be like, well, is it someone that he's implying is on Dynamite that maybe I'm looking into it? I'm not trying to start shit.
You might... see, I would want... my first thought to that would be that... Because I had said this like the first 2 weeks of Collision, that it felt like the show was much smoother paced, and it felt like you weren't constantly like next thing, like, because Dynamite I feel like is just a constant like flow of like they're trying to shove so much stuff in your face in 2 hours, trying
to fill all your holes.
Like it's exactly trying to fill all my holes.
I think
I feel like a match, I feel like on Dynamite, like half the time, a match will finish or like some fight will happen. And like as soon as it's finished, like you don't even get to like relax and be like, okay, that's what happened. They're already like, let's go backstage to this thing.
What my comedy brain went into was that JR said it. And his JR's point was that he's like, there's this little twerp back there who keeps telling me what to do. Like as if JR for 4 or 5 years hasn't noticed that Tony Khan is the guy in charge. She just thinks it's just this little twerp keeps telling me what to do. I don't. He's all loud and Collision. That guy isn't there, so it's very quiet. Just that joke of like this whole time he has not noticed that JR or that Tony Khan is the guy in charge. I know that's impossible, but
I mean, I could be wrong. That would be my first guess as to what he means by that. Is that like the overall like flow of the show is like not so jam-packed and is like cooler paced, so then like everything backstage is like cooler and more relaxed as opposed to like go.
Did you see
like even Dynamite, it feels like, I feel like, you know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like most weeks with Dynamite, I feel like the main event feels like rushed. Like
Dynamite, yeah, absolutely.
Like there are a few weeks that they've done a really good job, but I would say on most occasions, the main event is starting with like 10 minutes left in the show, and you're gonna lose 3 minutes of watching that main event to picture-in-picture.
Yeah,
and then you like, I feel like I notice it in the match that like it becomes like a mad dash to do everything that they wanted to do.
I completely think you're right. There's been plenty of times where we've had that. It's definitely feels like it is rushed towards the ends. I completely agree. It's not you.
Also, what the fuck with this week? What the fuck was that Dynamite show?
What do you mean? What part?
Why
part in particular?
Okay, so let me. I'll bring this up.
Okay.
Why the fuck was Sheeta and Ty the main event? Or not Ty? Anna. Why the fuck was that the main event? Easily the most boring thing of the whole show.
You said it perfectly in text, which was, you said to us, just because you put a women's match as the main event does not fix the division.
Correct.
And absolutely everyone kind of knows that, but it's a perfect example of what the issue was. Because
they showed that, Plain Pure as Day showed like that person with the sign that said book the women's division better after the Britt Baker match. And then I think it was like almost immediately after that, they were like, oh, Toni Storm and Shida is going to be the main event, which was fine. It was perfect. It made sense. It was a good match. I was into it. There was a title change. Totally makes sense that it'd be the main event.
Mm-hmm.
There's no fucking reason why this was the main event.
So did you think Shida and Toni was a good match compared to this?
Compared to her and Anna, yeah. I enjoyed it a lot more.
But Toni doesn't have a fat ass and a bad attitude. Like, Toni has the fat ass, but she doesn't have the bad attitude.
Right. Well, according to some people.
I don't know what that's referenced to.
It's not referenced to anything. It's
Okay.
It's referenced to anybody who's not an outcast.
But hey, Toni Storm.
And then there was the
Never
title
mind.
change, so it made sense for it to be the main event. But like, I don't know. I was looking at the card and I was just like, okay, like you could have done the Hardys and the Elite as the main event, and then ended the show with like making it official that FTR and the Young Bucks are going to fight it. Like that ending would have made way more sense than what they had.
I completely agree. I now going back, I'm like, yeah, it kind of felt very weak as far as what they were doing. Maybe that's it though. Maybe it's the concept of like, sometimes quality will drop off because of the fact that they're trying to focus on this thing that's going to be huge for them, which is 2 pay-per-views back to back.
Yeah, it's
of course
crazy.
By a week apart.
A week apart, and then not only are they a week apart, but then you also have the WWE show. Payback is
the 2nd of September.
The day before.
It's my fucking birthday. We talked about this last week.
You're right.
You son of a bitch.
What I was trying to get to was that the WWE pay-per-view is then in between those. So there's 3 wrestling pay-per-views in 2 weekends.
That's right, because Collision is on a Saturday. Collision is also on my birthday, right?
Yes.
And then Sunday is All Out,
Correct.
the 3rd. That's AJ's birthday.
Yep.
And then
Some
Friday,
guy.
some guy that
doesn't like wrestling.
I mean, if you watch the channel, then he's in a lot of stuff.
True. He's a guy.
He is a guy. He's a guy who's just the worst.
He's the Raven.
He's a pervert. Anyway, my point is that fuck, I forgot my point. My point is that I think you mentioned WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying because for you, or are you saying just in general that they're gonna have to focus on making it better than what they're doing?
No, I'm just stating. I'm just stating that there's a lot of wrestling pay-per-views.
I'm saying that Tony might be busy because of the 2, and that's why the kind of the day-to-day or the weekly show is kind of dropping off and just dipping a little bit in production because of the fact that they're trying to set up this stuff and make sure everything is clear and everything is set up so that way they can get it situated and be like, okay, this is the match card for All In, which you'd think that they'd have plenty of time after Forbidden Door, but they still haven't really done anything until like you said a couple days ago.
Waiting, yeah. They're waiting till like the last minute.
A couple episodes, he was like, yeah, why isn't anyone talking about All In? It's like a couple weeks away.
Yep. And now we've got a bunch of matches for it.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. There's something that happened where they just kind of like fell off about like what they were doing. Like maybe creatively, they just didn't know what they wanted to do. And then all of a sudden it just started getting like, okay, now this is coming out. Now this is coming out. Like matches just kept coming out as we went.
Yeah. I'm going to say this again. I still think it's really weird that CM Punk is running around saying he's the real world champion, and now multiple people, because Ricky Starks has done it, now Samoa Joe's done it, are calling him out and being like, I want a shot at the real world champ. I want a shot at you, Punk. Give me a shot at the title. And Punk's having title matches, and like MJF has just not said shit about it. It's really weird. It doesn't make sense that like even with MJF being this like quasi face, it still doesn't make sense for MJF to not say anything and just like completely disregard that Punk is running around saying he's a real world champ.
Yeah, it's really weird. The real part, I think, is the strange part. Like, I think it'd be cooler if you called him the True World. Like, he called himself the True World Champion.
Yeah, True would be a better selling word.
It sounds better. It sounds more like arrogant.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think True World Champ would be a better, like, with marketing's not the right word, but I agree with you. I think True World Champ would be better in this situation.
So yeah, I don't know. I find the Fatal 4-Way, the women's, going back to that, the women's Fatal 4-Way is kind of a I don't know. It kind of I'm bummed out because they set it up and I'm like, well, I know who's gonna be it All In because it's like you fucking have Tony Storm, Sheeta,
Britt Baker and Soraya.
Yeah,
are the 4.
Absolutely.
They could have just announced them.
Yeah, they could have just been like, it's these 4. It's.
Yeah, I feel like that was their attempt at. I feel like they're doing this Fatal 4-Way because they want to get multiple women who are over that they want to feature on the show, but they are. They clearly know that they are not going to have time, and they're not going to invest the time in doing, like, 3 women's matches.
I mean, you say like, oh, I mean, people out there be like, oh, they don't have the time for the women's. Like, they don't have the time for the men either. Look at Powerhouse Hobbs, Miro, and like there's Wardlow. There's so many people who don't get that attention. It's the same as the women. The women's aren't treated differently. It's just they're not really highlighting good stories for the women. Like the division itself, there's good stories with the men.
They're in like this odd coupling with, like, they're just like they're fish hooked into this Outcast thing, and because the Outcasts are always going for the championship, there's just like no other story is happening in the women's division because everything has to revolve around, oh, we're fighting you, and we're the previous WWE people.
Unless you're a bunch of cheaters. Then Diamante and Martinez have something there.
That is true. I'm thinking so I'm thinking Chris Statlander will fight Mercedes Martinez at either All Out or All In. I'm not sure which.
I want to see Willow versus Chris Statlander. I know it makes no sense. I don't care.
Oh, I mean, it could happen, but I thought
you were going to tell me that after the match they like turned on each other. Someone turns on the other one, or someone was upset with the other one.
No, they were just standing on the apron yelling, "You're cheaters!
Cheaters! You're cheaters!"
I think that would be fun, and I think they could do it. They just have to finish the Mercedes Martinez story first.
Excuse me, they have time.
So,
yeah, I agree that I don't know. There's some weird stuff going on.
Yeah. How about Cole and
MJF?
Cole and MJF. They're fucking hilarious.
I don't like the vignettes. I don't like the little videos where they're like doing stupid shit.
Those are hit or miss.
It's very campy.
Yeah. I think that's what they're going for, though.
Yeah.
The video vignettes are very hit or miss for me. I think when they're in the ring with live mics, they're fucking hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I prefer.
The weirdest part of the in-ring thing was the dance party. Other than that, I'm like, it still was good.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as bad as the vignette stuff, because I'm like, that's still funny because it's live and he's just dancing for some reason, doing just a bad job. And
yeah, like I loved this week. I loved this week when Adam Cole said something.
Roderick Strong.
No, Adam Cole said something to MJF. He was like, "We're gonna face each other for a world title," and for some reason, MJF was like, "Oh, you want a promo off?" And then he just starts going off on him, and Cole's like, "No, that's not what I want."
Is that what calls him pale?
Yeah, he said he was so pale and flaky
that if he was so pale and white that if he was in the 80s, Hulk Hogan would have snorted him.
Yeah, fucking great.
Hell yeah, brother.
Fucking great. And then he fucking lays into Roderick Strong.
Yeah, about Taylor Swift or something.
Yeah, he was like, do what every other vanilla white guy does, boring white guy or whatever. Go home, listen to some Taylor Swift, cry yourself to sleep or whatever.
Cry yourself in the Hello Kitty pillow. in your Hello Kitty pillow, listen to Taylor Swift, and just cry yourself to sleep.
It was
again, not to be rude, but so did
somebody's turning on some. I think it's happening at All In.
Did Roderick Strong work with the Kingdom before?
No, Adam Cole did.
That's weird.
Years ago in ROH, and then Adam Cole ditched them for somebody else. And so I think that's what the Kingdom is saying to Roderick Strong. He's like, oh yeah, he doesn't care about you. He's just going to use you, and like he's already moved on to somebody new.
This makes more sense.
So we're
to me.
your real friends.
Yes.
I guess we're all so
just dust in the wind.
Yeah. So I think All In, one of them's turning on the other.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know.
Also, I guess we're all going to hope and pray that neither of these guys fucking injure themselves on the fucking pre-show.
Yeah.
I was like, why is your main event
They're fighting
on the pre-show for the tag titles?
It's fighting the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, Aussie Open, which is fucking crazy.
I was like, this is not a good idea.
Yeah, it's because they're not going to, like, that...
Not only do you pray that neither of these guys get... Because, like, this happens all the time.
That's an intense team.
Yeah.
To fight.
Like, not only do you pray that neither of these guys are going to get injured before All In, you're now going to pray that they don't injure themselves in the pre-show so they can main event your show. Or at least... Or also, if they don't get injured, that they're at least able to recover enough that they can give everybody the fucking main event that they want.
Do you think they beat Aussie Open, and that would encapsulate them to have to stay together?
Yeah, they would have to stay together if they win the tag titles.
Then like I think for tag title, like giving them tag titles or giving them some kind of titles to share would keep the suspicion of a backstab.
It would
while.
Keep them. Yeah, it would keep them moving if they were like my opinion would be if they don't win the tag titles, then you probably should split them up.
Who was the one who said it to? Someone said it that we're all waiting for MJF to backstab Adam Cole or something like that. Like, no, I think it's
I feel like that is kind of where we're at though.
Shit,
we're all just waiting for.
It was what's his face? Fuck.
Tony Schiavone?
No, they said it in the ring on a mic. It was I don't know which one. Fletcher, whichever the skinny Aussie Open guy was.
Okay.
He was like, we all know we're just waiting for Adam Cole to backstab, or waiting for MJF to backstab Adam Cole anyway. So if you guys want to fight, we accept your challenge. And I think it was the skinnier one. But he said it.
True. We are at this point. We are just waiting for.
It was a blatant like he's saying what we're all thinking. We're just waiting for it. And I'm like, yeah,
because they keep showing the little things like when he insulted Roderick Strong, and Cole was like, "What the fuck, man? Like I'm his friend too."
Him.
Yeah. And MJF had that look.
I push him.
So
Adam Cole pushed him. He said, "I'm gay. I have AIDS. I'm homeless, and I'm new in town." John Mulaney. Sorry,
he didn't say any of this.
No, he didn't say any of it. It's a John Mulaney bit. It's like, some guy walked me on the street, pushed me. He's like, and he goes, "I'm gay. I'm homeless. I have AIDS, and I'm new in town."
Uh-huh.
And then he goes through why these things were important to tell him all this. So then he, and then he's like, can you imagine the guy looking in the mirror going, he goes, what am I going to do today? I'm going to push somebody. Yeah. And I'm going to tell him that I have AIDS. No, reel it back. Like he's like trying to talk to himself in the mirror about how he introduces himself. It's a great bit. I believe it's in New in Town.
Okay.
This is comedy special. Anyway.
So, yeah. I was going to say, should we talk about, I feel like might be the only discussion-worthy topic from WWE.
Yes.
And
AEW?
And AEW.
Oh,
what?
Mommy's off the market.
That's not what I was talking about.
Well, Mommy's off the market.
Congratulations
to both of them.
She's engaged.
By the way, I found out a couple things about people's real names. I believe Buddy, I have to look it up. Hold on. But also, Jamie Foxx isn't Jamie Foxx. His name is Joe. Isn't that weird?
Joe Fox?
No, it's not. It's Joe something.
Why would he lie?
Because.
Did he legally change his name?
I don't think so. Yeah, Matthew Adams is Buddy Matthews, which is weird. Matthew Adams. It's like if you're like, hey, my buddy Matthew. I don't know. Matthew Adams is his name. And also, Rhea Ripley's real name is Demi. Why didn't you just fucking use that?
Because they wanted to trademark it.
Oh.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. You're right. But congratulations to them. Good for them. I'm so tired of the bullshit with Dom. It's like, guys, come on. Don't be a fucking mark. Obviously, it wasn't a real thing. Relax.
Yeah, but I like when I like
the memes.
I like when the Acclaim brought it up.
Yeah, I like the memes about it, but I hope there's no people who like really think that that's a thing.
I don't. Probably.
You fucking marks.
There's marks that do.
I can call people marks in that situation.
Yes,
So
you
I
can.
definitely messed up something on my mic. Hold on. There we go. We're good.
Okay. So I was gonna bring up that the next phase in the bloodline has happened and begun. Jimmy Uso on SmackDown came out and said that he did it because he was afraid that Jey Uso was going to win and become the tribal chief. And then upon becoming tribal chief,
it's not like the fucking ring.
He would become corrupt and become like Roman Reigns. And he didn't want that to happen to his brother. So he screwed him.
Such a stupid ass
out of
reason.
Winning. And I was like, okay, this is... I don't know what I expected. This wasn't it.
Jimmy didn't see Jey.
It was okay. It was interesting.
Jimmy didn't see Jey. He just saw Golem every time he looked over at him.
Well, I mean, we don't know the legacy of the tribal chief. Maybe it's true.
What do you mean?
Maybe it's true. Maybe the people who become tribal chief become assholes.
The titles is what he would have won.
Yeah, but then the power.
They're
the
never
power of being the tribal chief.
What power?
The power of being the tribal chief would go to his head. Because he'd be ordering Roman Reigns around and Solo Sikoa around.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but this isn't Power Rangers. There's no evil force. It's not X-Men. It's not the Flash.
I don't know.
There's no evil force.
We have people that can appear in the ring and make puppets come to life and have lightning strike.
Make puppets come to life?
Yeah, Bray Wyatt.
No, people have their hands up their butts.
I'm just saying. Yeah, but then
that's just using a puppet.
They became real people.
No, they didn't, because then they showed up for 1 week and then were gone.
Yeah, but they were still there for 1 week. It still happened.
No, it was people in outfits, costumes.
So, I do like that he I don't know if you watched the segment.
Hold on.
Or not.
Are you gonna say the same thing I'm gonna say? Go ahead. Tell me what you're gonna tell me. Go ahead. Explain. Go ahead. Do it. Hey, go ahead. Do it. Go ahead. Okay. Do it. Hey, do it.
I do like that. After he did the super kicks and stuff, he called Jimmy back.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy was like, "Oh, bro, we're gonna hug," and he kicked him.
He did like. Do you remember? With Scott and Dr. Evil, where he's like,
yeah.
He did the little like, come back over. And then as soon as he comes, oh yeah, sure. Oh, okay, never mind. He's down too.
Yeah.
That was good.
I'll be honest. I was going to be really upset because I was like, he's really going to hug him. What the fuck, man?
I knew he was going to hit him.
And then he kicked him, and I was like, thank you.
Just the fact that I was like, oh, there he goes.
And then he went from saying, we the ones, to deuces.
Yeah.
And I'm very confused by the whole, like, he's like, I quit the bloodline. Thank you.
I didn't.
You didn't? Really?
That's why I was like, oh, yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm very confused by the whole, like...
He quit?
Yeah, I get that I quit the bloodline, but then he was like, I quit WWE. I'm going through the crowd. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
He's already he's probably going on vacation.
He is in the alumni. But like, I'm like, where does this go next? I was like, do you quit until next week when you show back up?
Yeah.
Because WWE is not...
It was like an I Quit match where it's like, he's barely...
Yeah, because WWE does not have a good track record with making these things like that last...
Jericho
for more than a week or two.
Jericho's been gone for a while.
That's true. That is true.
Did he quit or did he he just disappear one day?
He might have just disappeared. I'm thinking like Punk they did it with, and he came back like right away. There was the whole like Cena, you're fired. He was back the next week. There was they don't have a great track record with stuff like that.
I feel like they fired someone else.
Probably Daniel Bryan, and he was back like the next week.
Baron Corbin. I feel like maybe they gave him that.
They don't have a great track record with making these things last longer than a week or two.
Yeah.
Building of
or
any
like
type of story.
Suspended from the building. That means it's like, all right, this person's going to try real hard to get into the building and probably will by the end of the night.
Yes. Unlike AEW, where they used it to their advantage and said, we're going to get his best friend to trick the guy into a Falls Count Anywhere match.
That's fucking great.
So they can fucking fight outside of the arena and then he can get him. I thought that was fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
We're talking about Adam Cole and
Jericho.
Yeah, Roderick Strong.
Fucking brilliant.
Roderick Strong versus Jericho in a Falls Count Anywhere, which means they got to leave the building. And once he left the building, Adam Cole
was standing
was not allowed to be in the building, so he was waiting.
Fucking great. Fucking great.
That's literally like an ambush where he's just like, yeah, meet me outside. And he's like, I got my buddies out here waiting.
Yeah, and then because of that, it pissed Jericho off so much he wanted to have the match, so then he ripped up the contract so that way Cole could be in the building.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
Reverse psychology.
That is so much smarter than any of the shit WWE has ever done. You're not allowed in the building.
You think with like all the years of him wrestling, Jericho would have had some sense to be like, I wonder why they're doing this.
Yeah. Wait, I'll tell you what WWE.
Don't you snap at
I'll
me?
snap whatever I want. I'll tell you what WWE is going to do. He's like, you're not allowed in the building. And then half an hour into the show, he comes walking in with a ticket. And he's like, I got a ticket for this seat right here in the front row.
They've done that before.
They always do that.
Who did they do that with?
Everyone.
Someone did that recently that was like, I got a ticket.
They're always like, you're not allowed in the building. And then they somehow find a scalper outside who has a front row ticket and they buy it.
Which, by the way, AEW has done with the Best Friends and Danhausen.
They have, yes.
Sitting in the crowd. And guess what? They weren't banned from the ring. They were just in general being funny and sitting out in the crowd and just watching.
I don't know what made me. For some reason, I thought of that. I was like, anytime WWE does that, they try to get back in the building, and then it always ends with them buying a ticket and they're sitting in the front row.
Fucking great,
fantastic,
love it.
Or you know who else did that? John Cena. He did it at WrestleMania because he kept calling out the Undertaker. Taker never answered, so he didn't have a match. So since he didn't have a match, he bought a ticket so he could sit in the front row and be at WrestleMania. I don't know if you remember that.
The Undertaker?
He wanted to. Oh, did he fight The Undertaker?
Yeah.
A referee, so maybe like half an hour, it was after the first or second match of Mania. They show a referee or somebody runs over to John Cena, and Cena's like, and then you hear Cena's like, oh, he's here? He's here, he's going to do it. And then Cena hops over the barricade, runs up the ramp to go get changed into his gear, and then comes out and has a match with The Undertaker.
What the fuck is that?
I swear to God it happened. And then Taker squashed his ass.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. What is the fucking point of that? Who does that interest?
I don't know. It was very interesting. I found it interesting that they went the whole time, and Cena was just like, I guess I'm going to buy a ticket and be in the front row and just be a fan because The Undertaker won't fight me. That's literally what happened with the storyline.
I get the meme, though, now of him in the audience with some guy dressed as Undertaker, and he goes, I found him finally.
Yeah.
That's so fucking stupid, dude.
Yep. I think Cena did like shoulder tackle. He went to do the five knuckle shuffle, but Taker sat up. I think Taker did like snake eyes, big boot, choke slam, tombstone, done. Like it was like a 3-4 minute match. He squashed Cena. Although I also think it's because he at that point he wasn't going to wrestle in no full match. I don't think he can do it. Because then the next year was the pandemic, and he did the graveyard, boneyard, Bonezaw's ready.
Bonezaw's ready.
Speaking of which, did you see that there's a Jeff Jarrett versus Jeff Hardy Texas Chainsaw Massacre match?
Hold on. Before I was gonna bring that up, by the way. Did you get that Spider-Man reference?
I did.
Okay.
And then I started
you
with
went,
chainsaw.
I don't get why you did that.
Well, no, I started with bone saws, right?
Yeah, but they do this.
and
Remember
then
in the crowds?
yeah,
They like pretend to cut their arm with a saw.
I was turning on
A
my
bone
arm
saw and a chainsaw are very different. A bone saw is those little
you're right.
small things.
You're right.
I guess it's not a bone saw. It's a whatchamacallit. Fuck. What is that?
It's a bone saw on an automated cutting mechanism.
Yeah. Whatever. They're both saws. They should just called Macho Man the Saw.
Which is how we segue to this Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match.
It's the Jeff versus Jeff.
The what? I was like, what is this?
Did he? Okay. So we have to go back and watch.
What the fuck is this?
Can you go back and watch right now and watch the promo that Jeff Jarrett did for it? I'm pretty sure he said some kind of title or some kind of championship match.
Okay.
Look for the promo of Jeff Jarrett talking about it because I shit you not. He definitely said something Texas Chainsaw Massacre championship match. And I'm like, wait, what fucking title is it gonna be for? Because that makes no fucking sense.
Of course I'm not finding it.
It's not gonna be on there. Fuck. Hold on. Let me see if I can look it up. I might have heard wrong because I was like, oh, this is cool. And I'm like, wait, what did he say? I swear to God, I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay, Wrestling Observer.
Oh, Beetlejuice.
Says
Okay.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match, and that's for AEW Dynamite. It says the poster just says the Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match, Jeff Jarrett versus Jeff Hardy. A game. The fuck does that small ass text say? Maybe I can zoom in.
The game. What is it?
It says a game based on true events. And then in a box, Gun. So I guess there's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
Gun is, it's coming out. It's people who made the Friday the 13th game. I understood that part. So that's why they're doing it. They're doing promotion for the game.
The match is a sponsorship for the new video game.
Yeah. It's an asymmetrical game where three people are the family, and I believe 4 people are the survivors, and they have to get out of the compound.
Oh, so they just took the same concept and put it into a different...
Yeah.
So we should expect a Freddy one soon.
No.
Nightmare on Elm Street soon.
Pretty much gave them the rights because they lost the rights to the Friday one. Did you hear about that one?
I did not.
The Friday the 13th wasn't allowed to be updated because the people were like, wait, we never said you could use a game, but someone who did have the rights was like, yeah, I did. So it was this whole thing where like, it was caught up in legal issues where the one guy, the dickhead who was like, oh, I didn't say you could use that, blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, okay, well, I guess we'll stop making stuff for the game.
Also kind of odd that he waited years to...
He didn't know that there was going to be a game being made, and he thought that he, like...
This game has been out for like years, hasn't it?
He didn't know about it.
Was he an idiot?
He's an old man who made a horror movie back in the 70s.
He's an old man. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, I got you.
Like, he was in his, like... He might be in, like, his 60s, maybe 50s. I forget what the guy's name was.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find... Why can't I add anything to this?
I don't know. It's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre deathmatch, though. I'm going to be disappointed if I don't see a fucking chainsaw. Not that somebody has to use it, but I want to see one at least.
Yeah,
And for some reason, it's Jeff Jarrett versus Jeff Hardy.
Here we go. Oh, fuck. This is just some guy talking.
This is some guy talking.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
But they took the concept, they transposed... Well, I mean, it's way harder than just transposing it. But, okay. 3 people are the family, 4 people are survivors. Survivors are trying to make it out. The family are trying to eat and kill the people.
Yeah. And you play the... Like, it's weird.
Based on true events.
Well, that's what they say in all the movies. That's why they say it.
Because it is.
Well, not directly, but that's like one of their like
based.
It's like the it's like a catchphrase. It's like a tagline they use all the time.
Yeah,
like based on true events. It's like to scare people. I don't think it's legitimately
based on true events.
Yeah, I mean people get murdered all the time, but
there was legitimately.
I don't know if I should look into this.
I feel like I should just do this on my phone. It might be easier.
Okay. You know what promo that I really want to find and I can't? Which I now understand after seeing the part.
Why can't you find it?
Because it's Dusty Rhodes talking about the marquee doesn't say a midget jerking off in a trash can. I think it's because TNA actually did that, and that's why he was trying to make fun of it. I can't remember, though. Anyway, it's one of my favorite quotes from Dusty Rhodes. Him saying, if there's professional wrestling on the marquee, it doesn't say a midget beaten off in a trash can.
What?
Because TNA had a midget beaten off in a trash can. And this is when, I guess, Dusty Rhodes was... God damn it. I keep fucking with this thing.
Stop pulling the wire.
I'm not pulling the wire. It just keeps coming undone.
Or
it sounds like it's coming. Sounds like it's coming undone. Anyway. Are you trying to look up if it's been based on true events or not?
Yeah. So I'm reading this article.
I'm just
which
saying,
is where to find the Texas Chainsaw House in real life. Turns out Leatherface, now iconic Victorian house, is a real property. One you can see for yourself if you ever find yourself in Kingsland, Texas. You'll find the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at gives the address. As it turns out, I needn't have been so afraid. According to Wikipedia, the real house was built at the turn of the century. Aside from the house acting out the fictional, it housed families, blah, 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 blah. You can go visit the infamous property. Then they're talking about, like, this other, like, shit. Like, oh, you can go have dinner at this restaurant nearby. And
That's
blah,
called
blah, blah.
an ad.
I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with...
That's an ad, my dude. I bet you Twitter has it. I bet you fucking Twitter has the fucking match. By the way, Ian Riccobonoli is one of the worst announcers.
Yeah.
I hate him. I hate his face.
Why?
I mean, Andre Iguodolo would be one reason.
Iguodolo.
He changes it literally every time. I shit you not. He changes it over and over again.
And so then he ends up on Botchamania where the announcer says, "Oh, Iguodolo," and then they
and he
play
was
it.
like,
yeah.
They're the Iron Savages, by the way. They're not the Iron or the Bear Mountain or whatever. What did we say they were?
They used to be Bear Country.
Bear Country.
I don't know what they are now. Here you go. So is there an in real life Leatherface? The movie is marketed as being a true story, but more accurately to say it was inspired by real life crimes of Wisconsin-based murderer and body snatcher Ed Gein, otherwise known as the Butcher of Plainfield. He was known for exhuming corpses from graveyards and making mementos from their bones and skin, which clearly served as an inspiration for scenes in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when one of the characters stumbles into a room full of furniture made from dead people and then is impaled on a meat hook. He was found guilty of murdering hardware store owner and eventually institutionalized for being really mentally unwell. They found...
Did it say really mentally unwell?
It does.
It sounds like if you read it like this, you go, and really fuck, I fucked it up.
You fucked it up.
Mentally well.
When searching the house, they found all sorts of horrifying objects made of skin, including masks, which are noteworthy because Leatherface wears a mask. If all this isn't disturbing enough, he was also obsessed with his deceased mother. After she died, he kept her room in pristine condition, even as the rest of the house decayed.
What did the Bang Bang Gang say this Saturday?
They said that they are the Bang Bang Gang, guns up, and that the Young Bucks don't get to say that they're the greatest brother tag team. So it seems like they didn't have it officially during the rundown, but it sounded like they're going to have the Guns against the Young Bucks on Wednesday. And that was it.
I still. I really so badly want to find that fucking promo that Jeff Jarrett did.
You'll never find it.
It annoys the fuck out of me.
You'll never find it. If someone is listening to this podcast and finds it or knows where it can be watched, please link it in the comments down below.
Yes. Please, yes, that's a good idea, because it's just a bunch of collision shit in their Twitter, and I can't find the fucking actual thing I'm looking for. Excuse me. By the way, they were the match on Friday night was supposed to be Madison Rae came out and helped her, and I think they cut it short. The Acclaimed was at the main event on Rampage because they got cut. Because scissors. Because scissors. Yeah, the Acclaimed. You know, the Acclaimed thing. Anyway, Jeff Jarrett said something about fucking. I'm pretty sure he said something championship. I could have been fucking losing my mind. I swear to God, I'll have to watch back the whole Rampage. But I swear he said something about it being for some kind of championship. I'm like, that makes no fucking sense. Because then once he said, I'm fighting Jeff Hardy, I'm like, what title is it?
It's the imaginary title, or it's the first ever Texas Chainsaw Massacre Deathmatch champion.
That would be awesome.
And that's going to be a new championship.
What does that match entail?
I don't know.
It's like a old school TNA match, essentially.
Yes.
Because it's Jeff and Jeff.
Jeff and Jeff.
Jeff and Jeff. Jeff and Jeff.
I'm just going to be like, Jeff's beating on Jeff's ass.
Oh my God, not Jeff.
I hope Jeff wins.
Jeff beating on Jeff's. Ian did for the main event. Me too. I hope Jeff wins as well. We can only hope. My hope is that Jeff wins. But if not, hopefully, I don't know, Jeff wins. So either way. The Ian guy that I said I don't like, he did something interesting that it's just a small thing, is that when calling the main event, he did say Wheeler. He just kept saying Wheeler, and I was like, why does that sound weird? And I'm like, oh, it's because Excalibur always calls him Cash Wheeler by his full name every fucking time. Or Cash. I don't hear him. I can't hear Excalibur saying just Wheeler or just Cash. I keep hearing him say Cash Wheeler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it fucked with my head. Anyway, who was that one guy they had at one point for a Ring of Honor? The black dude. For an announcer.
Black dude?
Yeah, they had a black dude for an announcer for a while. I forget what the wrestler was. He used to be a former Ring of Honor guy.
I don't think so.
I'll look him up.
Maybe they had it for like 1 week. I don't remember that.
He was he was on Dark for like forever.
Oh. I know that when the show first started that it was Nigel McGuinness and
Kevin Kelly.
Kevin Kelly.
I wanted that.
Kevin Kelly is out right now because he's calling the G1 tournament for New Japan.
Oh, okay.
So I assume that once that's done, he'll come back and it'll be him and Nigel McGuinness again. Did you see, interestingly enough, that there were rumors about if Bryan Danielson hadn't gotten hurt, that Nigel McGuinness got cleared to wrestle, and they were going to do Bryan against Nigel McGuinness at All In London.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so I saw a rumor on maybe his Cage Side or whatever, and interestingly enough, during the broadcast for Collision, he brought it up. Like, I forget how they got to it, but like all of a sudden, Nigel McGuinness was like, "Oh yeah, and you know, Bryan Danielson is a coward because he only broke one bone, but he's got 200 some other bones in his body, and he still won't fight me. Like, I was all ready to go for All In, and you know, now he's not going to do it. You know, blah blah blah, like kind of calling him out."
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to go scroll through YouTube this morning, and he is the person who is on the AEW Unleashed podcast this week. and the tagline or the like how there's like a description thing or whatever says like he talks about the potential match he was going to have with Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson at All In Wembley.
Because I know when they announced when he was announced for it, and then also for All In, right? Because they were like Nigel McGuinness. Also, we're going to London in August.
Yeah, so I think they definitely had a. I think it's true. I think if Bryan hadn't gotten injured, he probably would have had a match with Nigel McGuinness in London.
I like what Bryan Danielson is doing. Just with all the different stuff where he's just like, he's now in a company that he's able to sustain and also train people while being like, I want to fight this person, or yes, this person seems interesting to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of challenging himself for just having these matches that he wants to have and not just doing some silly stuff. No offense to the other company, but
yeah.
Excuse me. It's Caprice Coleman is the other guy who does the announcing for Ring of Honor. He was there for a while. I was like, put that guy in.
I don't remember him on Collision.
He wasn't on Collision. I'm saying, why didn't they bring him in instead of Ian? Because I don't like Ian.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. I thought that's why
No, sorry.
I thought you were saying he was doing Collision, which is why I was like, what are you talking about?
He should do Collision is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Instead of Ian, because Ian doesn't even know how to pronounce Andre Idolo correctly.
El Idolo?
El Idolo. Sorry, I forgot the.
Andrade El Idolo.
I forgot the idol.
El Idolo.
I just called him Andrade Idol. Which for a while he was. Idol.
Mm-hmm. Very idle.
So, yeah.
I think that's just about everything.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Till next week, which is...
Till death do us part.
I'm sorry?
Hmm?
You gonna kill me?
No.
Please?
No.
Please?
No.
Yeah, what's the next week? The 18th? No, 19th?
Something like that.
Somewhere around there. What's a week from now?
7 days from now.
7 days from now? So what, the 20th?
Yes.
So we can pick apart how garbage this Texas Chainsaw Massacre match is, and talk about the Nick Wayne Darby Allin match. You had it up on here? What was the matches for next week?
Let me look it up again.
Dynamite. But yeah, I thought that was funny with the Rampage stuff because of the fact that they made a big deal out of it. They're like, Madison Ray returns to come back and save Sky Blue. I'm like, oh, here comes Madison Ray, and they just cut it off, and like they just started like Batman or some movie, and I'm like, wait, well, this is a
looks like we're gonna hear from MJF and Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm.
The Guns are gonna fight the Young Bucks.
Oh,
Darby Allin and Nick Wayne against the Gates of Agony. The Bunny against Britt Baker. And the Texas Chainsaw
Bunny's
match.
definitely gonna win considering she's been on TV for so long.
Yep. Oh, here we go. Britt Baker, the Bunny, Texas Chainsaw Death Match. I forgot about this. International Championship, Orange Cassidy against
like
Wheeler
they should just
Yuta.
do that at All In.
Nope, I think All In is Cassidy and
Mox.
Darby Allin, Nick Wayne, Gates of Agony, Kenny Omega sit-down interview with Jim Ross. And this past week he did say that, I'm pretty sure he said he was going to address what he's doing for All In.
Yeah.
MJF and Adam Cole sit-down segment. Hey, look what I found.
What did you find?
AEW Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game is coming to Dynamite this week. That's right, old Double J in AEW Business Development with my man, Slick Pick Sobich. And of course, alongside the top dog himself, Tony Khan. What a whopper of a sponsorship deal we have this week. The first ever Texas Chainsaw Massacre Deathmatch Championship. And you know,
I told you. I swear. He did say championship.
He did say championship.
I swear to God, I was like, I knew he said championship.
Oh, look, it says it in the tweet. First ever Deathmatch Championship.
will go down between Jeff Jarrett. What does that mean?
I don't think it means anything.
If there's a title, if there's a fucking title,
I don't think it means anything.
That's so fucking weird.
I don't think it means anything.
It caught my ear. I was like, I swear I'm not crazy. I
You're
heard
right.
championship.
He said championship.
What the fuck does
like,
that even mean?
He was like, my name is Championship.
So, what do you think the title should be for this episode? What the fuck is a Texas Death?
Championship.
No, I'm not going to do championship.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre Deathmatch Championship.
I assumed we were going to talk more about the engagement, but...
What else is there to say?
Exactly. What did we talk more about?
Oh, I guess the only other thing is that there's rumors circulating that we're going to get Jay versus Jimmy at Payback and that Rikishi is going to be the guest referee.
Yeah, Rikishi did mention that, or he hinted at returning too.
Well, so apparently so he's doing a signing like the week before or something, or like the day before or something like that, and the promoter put on the thing to come meet and greet with Rikishi and get his autograph before he is special guest referee at Payback. So then Rikishi then like tweeted out or whatever and was like, promoter mishap. He said something like, promoter mishap, that's not happening, or something like that. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure.
He's definitely doing that. His big ass is gonna be there.
How's he gonna get up and down so many times to be like 1, 2,
He'll be fine.
And gets up and I don't know. He's kind of old.
Well, so is Steamboat, but he still did it.
Oh, you're right.
You saying because he's fat?
No.
Oh.
No.
I wouldn't mind. I was gonna say I wouldn't mind going to see Rikishi, but Pittsburgh is a far way away.
Rikishi.
I'd love to meet Rikishi. I almost bought yesterday. I almost bought King Booker
Daddy Quiche.
Funko Pop.
Oh.
I wish they had Harlem Heat Funko Pop of him, but whatever. Or just normal Booker. I don't want a King Booker, I'm going to be honest.
A Booger T.
A Booger T. I believe he's named after Booker T. Washington.
Probably. That
would make the most sense.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
We had fun today.
We did.
What was your favorite part? I'm kidding. Not that I don't care, but you know what I mean. We don't have to go over what we talked about for an hour.
Okay.
Are you excited for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game?
Yes. No?
No?
I thought you were going to say match. I was going to say yes.
Are you excited for the match as well?
The game, I probably won't get it and probably won't play it.
Hell yeah. Well, if you had an Xbox, and I'm pretty sure I can play it for free on Xbox. Because the Game Pass stuff, they're like, if you have the Game Pass, you could play it for free. I mean, technically, if you had a membership to Xbox, you could still play it on the computer because they integrate the computer and shit.
Yeah.
Here's a big important question. Do you think people should do the needful?
I do.
All right. You should tell them that.
Oh. Them that.
No. Jesus Christ.
Do the needful.
Bye. The first one
only
was
remember
Pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Second one was definitely like around the time Keith Lee and all them.
Okay.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it when Keith Lee and Swerve were champions and they were just fighting for something else?
I guess so.
Pretty sure that was it. Because it wasn't around like the time that the them boys was fighting them, and then
Probably.
the Bucks came out and was trying to like beat them up or whatever.
No, wasn't that the Guns?
Remember.